Canada once again is finding out the consequences of having a weak leader. What's going on, guys? It's Ricky with TechBud Solutions. And no, this is not clickbait. This was actually just announced a few minutes ago. China is announcing reciprocal tariffs, as if you want to call them, pretty much 100% tariffs on Canadian rapeseed oil, oil cakes, and pea imports, and a 25% duty on Canadian aquatic products and pork, the ministry said in a statement. Why are they doing this? Canada first placed a 100% tariff on EV vehicles, and guess what? China did not like that. And then a 25% levy on its aluminum and steel products. China did not like that. This, according to China, seriously violates the World Trade Organization rules and constitutes a typical act of protectionism and discriminatory measures and severely harms China's legitimate right and interest. Again, you can do this, and obviously Canada's finding out you can do this, but you cannot expect that other countries that are much larger than you, much more powerful than you, will just take what it is that you're offering them. And again, everyone wants to point the finger and blame Trump, and I'm not here to say that what Trump is doing is the right thing or the best thing. We don't know. All we know is that now these countries are pretty much presenting this trade war because they see that they do not have a fair trade with other countries, or they're getting the short end of the stick. Everyone was fixated on, oh, what Trump is doing is terrible. Why is he trying to negotiate with Canada or with Mexico? Originally, we offered these 25% tariffs. Now we postponed them until April. And now Trump, over the past few hours, just said that he might even implement a 250% tariff over the weekend just to Canada because of what Justin, the Canadian Prime Minister, is now saying that they're going to do to the U.S. You need to understand the numbers. The U.S., in comparison to Canada makes up 1.5% of the U.S.'s overall GDP. We make up, as the U.S., for Canada's overall GDP, over 34%, 1/3. On top of that, when you look at their overall GDP, Canada's GDP a year is right around $2.1 trillion. I'm not even going to talk about the United States as a whole. States individually have larger GDPs than Canada does as a country. California, larger GDP than Canada. Texas, larger GDP than Canada. New York, larger GDP than Canada. It does not compare. It is not a fair trade war because there is no comparison. Justin or even the Mexican leader can speak how it is that they want, but there are reasons on why Trump is choosing to negotiate with them, and it's because he knows it's a trade war that he is going to win. Don't get me wrong, the U.S. will also feel the impact of this trade war, as we have already. But again, it will be nothing in comparison to what Canada will feel and to what Mexico will feel. And again, Canada's Liberal votes to replace Trudeau as Prime Minister is happening this weekend. So if you think that it's just, oh, it's all Trump's fault. No, Canada themselves can see how weak their Prime Minister is. Canada's Liberal Party elects a new leader this weekend to replace Justin Trudeau as Prime Minister and take charge of confronting the threats posed by U.S. President Donald Trump. And again, that is not now just him. It is also now China and everyone else that he has pissed off. And the markets did not like the way that, again, this was being presented. I ended up shorting MSTR, right? Overall NASDAQ market saw a pretty substantial drop and then a quick recovery. We went nearly break even. But Bitcoin was not having it. We saw a substantial drop. Nothing happened after that crypto summit event that was hosted at the White House, proving once again that MicroStrategy is just an absolute terrible company. And I'm super excited to see if we break below 280, if this thing can come crashing down to lows of 230 per share. I made $10,392 shorting this piece of shit stock MicroStrategy, and I enjoyed every second of it. I closed out my trade completely, or left myself with my one lucky share. And that's really just it. I'm excited. I'm going to enjoy my weekend and then come back on Monday and trade live with my LPP team. If you ever want to tune on in, it's going to be that second link in the description down below, and you'll actually get to watch me trade live. Just like I've said many times before, I trade live every single morning, and you're more than welcome to watch. But I wanted to make sure that I did my part in sharing the news. Bad, unfortunate news for Canada, and only going to encourage them probably even more to replace their Prime Minister because he is simply an incapable leader in a time like today. So really excited to follow up. Hope that earned a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.